is human 24601 for the second abduction. Wonderful. I wonder if they'll remember me. Probably not, that is rather the point, but maybe. Oh, hello 24601. It is lovely to see you again. I am Snuff, you might remember. You don't remember? Oh. I suppose that's a good thing. Sometimes, as an observer up here, I spend so very long watching all of you and all of my little subjects that I feel as though I know you, but sometimes I forget that doesn't go the other way. Anyway, I think it is lovely to see you again. I realise you might be a little confused, but worry not. I am not going to harm you in any way, okay? I am just here to learn about your species a little bit. Well, technically that term is a little bit offensive, but yes, if you would like to call me an alien, you can use that word, I suppose. Well, abduction is since our last meeting, there's been some HR meetings about things, and we don't generally like to use the words abduction anymore. We prefer to use the term intellectual. What was it again? I forgot. Something like we're passing on information to each other, except it is rather one-sided, so we're still sort of workshopping it. But don't you worry, this is not any sort of abduction where I'm going to be poking and prodding at you or doing anything unpleasant. In fact, this time, it's not even really about the scans or anything. I just have a list of questions for you. You see, I have been focusing on trying to understand your particular culture, your customs and things like that on your planet. Now, I know that different regions on your planet have different customs as well, so I might not get into all of them, but I do have a list of questions that I have compiled that I would love to get your honest opinion about, okay? Is that all right with you? Good, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you're feeling so calm again. Wait, are you under the impression that this is one of those dreams again? That's so cute. Wonderful. Good. As long as it keeps you calm, then I don't really mind. Now, if any of my questions are offensive, please do let me know. I really am still learning your people's customs, so please feel free to be as honest as you would like to be, okay? Alright, wonderful. Now, for the record, could I get your name again, please? Okay, excellent. That's what I thought that it was, but I just wanted to double check. What exactly is your date of birth? Is that how you say it? Okay. Now, is that considered old or young or sort of in the middle for your species? Okay. Good to know. See, I'm trying to just get a pool, sort of a variety of different answers, like a questionnaire. So, anyway, let's get into the questions, shall we? I have quite a few for you, and I'm very intrigued to hear your answers. Alright, question number 1. Why do you imprison yourselves inside a soft rectangular fabric at night? Is this some sort of a cocoon stage in your development? Oh, okay. Yes, that's unconscious state. What's it called again? Sleeping. And the purpose of the rectangle? Oh, okay. Much simpler than I thought. That's alright, that's wonderful to know. Thank you very much. Alright, now I have observed several different people in your species talking about a phenomenon called Monday. Monday. Why does it lower morale across your species? Oh. Mm-hmm. If you don't like your job, why don't you just go find another one? Oh. Mm-hmm. I see. Sorry to hear that. Right. Very good to know. Thank you, thank you. Why do you celebrate surviving another revolution around your star by setting objects on fire? It seems a bit counterproductive to me. Oh. Mm-hmm. I see. Right, now this is another one that just is a little bit puzzling to me. If your species dislikes the term small talk, why do you generate so much of it? I see. Why not just sit comfortably in silence with people instead? Oh. Really? Right. Good to know, good to know. Right, now, could you explain to me, please, what is a vibe? And I've heard, who is responsible for the switch or the button that turns it off? Yes, like when the vibe is off. What does that mean? Huh. Really? Huh. So there's no switch, no button. A lever, perhaps? Curtain? I see, okay. Very good to know. Very, very good to know. Alright. Okay. Alright, now I have noticed that many of you in your species willingly consume some sort of a liquid that makes your heart race and your hands shake. It makes you sort of jittery. You willingly drink this. Is this some sort of a strength ritual, an endurance test, things like that, bravery? Ah. Really? Wouldn't it just be easier to get enough sleep? Oh. Touchy subject, I apologize. Okay. Mm-hmm. I see. Alright, could you please describe for me the meaning of the word fandom? Mm-hmm. Really? I have observed that creates quite a lot of hormonal and emotional responses, yes. I see. Now, this one, it doesn't apply to everyone, but I've noticed some of you are very attached to certain seating positions at your dining receptacles or in your sitting living receptacles. Certain people must sit in certain places. Why is that? Okay. Right, now, what is cringe? And why does it cause involuntary body spasms? Would it be fair to say that cringe is similar to the ick? Okay. Mm-hmm. I see. I've noticed that some of you also photographically document your sustenance before you consume it? Is it so you remember what you ate? Does it go into a log, or is there some other sort of purpose for that? Huh. Interesting. Okay, now, you say that you are broke, but you are not physically fractured. Explain. Oh. Why is that the term that you use? All right. No, I'm not exactly an entomologist myself, but okay. Interesting. Now, I have also observed different phobias that your species has. Some of them make sense as far as survival, but some of them do not. For example, why do you fear public speaking more than you fear predators? Mm-hmm. Right, I suppose that makes sense. Now, I observed someone say that someone ate, but there was no food that was consumed. What happened to the missing food? Oh, another one of those terms that means something else. Now, several people in your species maintain emotional attachment to fictional entities from written or visual stories. Are these entities considered auxiliary tribe members? Oh. Do they have any other function? Well, they just... some of you have very, very strong attachments. Okay, you're aware of that. Okay. Just making sure. What is the significance of the numerical sequence 6-7? Is that a ritual sequence? Is it like a code for something? Now, please signify for me the significance and the hierarchical significance and sequence between Alpha and Sigma. What are those? Alpha, Sigma. Oh. Is that a pack structure or a marketing strategy? Oh. Okay, that's way off on that one. Actually, I've been way off on most of these. That's alright, that's why we learn. It's quite fascinating. What is the difference between a good spoon and a bad spoon? I suppose that makes sense. When you say it's giving, what is being given and to whom? I see no transference of goods. Right. Okay. Why do you own more drinking vessels than mouths? Okay, I suppose that makes sense. This one has caused quite a bit of concern in some of the different medical circles around here. Define Riz, and is it contagious? Oh. That will certainly put some people's minds at ease. That is good to know. Right. Now, your species is a diurnal, usually, meaning you are awake during the day. So why at night do you delay sleep, even though you value it? I see. Is that similar to why humans announce that they are going to bed, but then remain conscious for extended periods of digital consumption, scrolling, I believe you call it? Okay. Yes, we call it digital wandering. What do you people do? Yes. Now, if someone refers to an event or something as mid, is that a location? Is it a lateral or vertical location? Oh. All kinds of fascinating. All kinds of things. If I started talking like this now, no one should understand me. It'd be kind of fun. Right, why is giving someone cut, dying foliage a symbol of affection? It seems a bit morbid, really. Yes, like when you put the foliage that you cut out with the pretty petals and things on it in clumps and give it to people. Oh, right. Right, why do you purchase decorative storage just to contain other decorative storage? There's lots of storage going on, but it seems a bit superfluous. Sure. Right. Right. Why are small domesticated predators brought into your home and worshipped in your society? Yes, the little fluffy things that run around, the domesticated predators. Oh. No, I don't think we have anything like that. We have different beings that might also occupy our dwellings, but they generally serve a very specific purpose, I suppose. Why do humans insist on owning many items but only feel tidy when those items have been hidden? Right. Could you explain to me? I've heard people call things based, but I have not heard anyone refer to anything as acided. Is that a term, and what do they mean? Right. Right, now, why do you repeatedly open the cold food storage receptacle, even though no one has placed anything new in there, as if something is going to manifest there? As far as I'm aware, your species does not have the food manifestation sort of technology yet. Right. Right. Now, what does it mean when someone ships two humans? Are they fragile cargo? And what sort of ship are they being transported on? Oh. much to learn about your very confusing customs. Alright, now, why do some of you intentionally harm your epidermis in chambers of dangerous light? Is this a test of endurance? Is it a test of will? Perhaps preparing your bodies for space travel someday? Oh. Interesting. Yes, you humans seem to care about that quite a lot, don't you? Alright. Could you explain to me in detail, if you could, the difference between the terms iconic, legendary, and mother? Yes, referring to someone as mother who is not your actual offspring person. Okay. Why is the term your life giver? Why wouldn't it be something else? Alright. No, that makes perfect sense. Alright. Alright, what is this phenomenon called girl dinner? Okay, is there also boy dinner? Is that customary in your species? It's a bit sad. Right. Right. Now, if a person is described as low key or high key, where is the door? There are keys, but where is the door? Oh. Now, at certain events and things like that, I've noticed many humans slapping their hands together to indicate approval. Is that a sound that stimulates dominance? Yes, like... Why is that the sound of approval? Is that sort of a reminiscent of times of war? Oh. No, that's alright, that's alright. Why do you rewatch the same visual narratives repeatedly, sometimes many, many, many times, if you already know how the narrative goes? Oh. Alright. Right, could you explain to me the biological function of scented candles? Oh. Right. Why do you say bless you when someone expels air violently? Now, is there a reason that you like to apologize to inanimate objects after you have bumped into them? Was there some sort of invasion of inanimate objects at some point, and so you just like to cover your bases? Okay. And this one is quite puzzling to me as well. Why do you experience fear of missing out on events that you did not want to attend? Okay. I've also noticed that in your visual stories or written stories, you willingly consume stories that are meant to incite grief or fear. Why do you seek out these negative emotions? Is it a rehearsal? Is it a ritual to develop mental strength? Right. Now, I've also observed that your species fears aging, but also celebrates it annually. Why is that? Then why fear it? I see. Right. Now, I have noticed a phenomenon in your culture. Many people refer to it in different ways, but I think the blanket term is art. Why do you spend energy and materials creating art if it does not serve a practical function in your life or help the evolution of your species? I've also observed, this one is a bit, maybe you don't want to answer and that's alright, but I have noticed that humans often fear being a burden to their loved ones, even though they would willingly carry anyone that they would consider a loved one. Why is that? Why do you fear being a burden when you would not see other people as a burden? Is that similar to why you believe that you are perhaps unworthy of love when you are so willing to give it to others? Right. You know, there are some species, civilizations out there who have said that humanity is very fragile. I'm not sure that I agree. You have endured quite a bit, really. Personally, I think the human species demonstrates irrational persistence. Certainly something that requires further study. You know, if strength is defined by endurance, then your species truly is formidable. You know, I think I do not yet understand humans. I have a lot to learn still. But I think that's okay. Well, thank you, human, for answering my questions. I know there were quite a lot of them, and it was perhaps a bit strange. Some of these I seem to have completely misinterpreted. Some of your terms and slang and things like that, but I appreciate you clearing them up for me. Well, I suppose I should erase your memory, shouldn't I, to put you back into your sleep receptacle rectangle. You don't want me to wipe your memory this time? I suppose we did only really talk. Maybe that would be okay. Perhaps it would be good if our species had a little more actual direct contact. Who knows, maybe you'll still just think of it as an unconscious hallucination again. Either way, I will put you back in your rectangular sleep receptacle. And hopefully you will have a nice, pleasant sleep. And maybe I'll see you again